Everybody, Scoots here. We're going to play a game, new game show game. This is the first time we're doing this. Oh, Gene Green Jeans, Gene Mean Jeans, are you, thank you, Scooter, welcome. It's time to play Don't Support the Show. Everybody, we'll do it all together now. Don't support the show. And one of the groups playing that already wins. You shouldn't support the show if you're a new listener. You might even find these messages pretty annoying if you're new. Don't worry. We'll get to the sleepy stuff soon. But we just want to let you know if you're a new listener, you're welcome here. We'll be repeating these messages over and over again. We're glad you're here. Thanks for checking out the show. But don't think about supporting the show or listen to our requests or whatever if you're new. Because there's people who've been listening 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So if you're new, or kind of new, don't support the show. Thanks, everybody.
Every idea starts with a problem. Warby Parker's was simple. Glasses are too expensive. So they set out to change that. By designing glasses in-house and selling directly to customers, they're able to offer prescription eyewear that's expertly crafted and unexpectedly affordable. Warby Parker glasses are made from premium materials like impact-resistant polycarbonate and custom acetate. And they start at just $95, including prescription lenses. Get glasses made from the good stuff. Stop by a Warby Parker store near you.
I don't know if you have this feeling, but I constantly find myself daydreaming about finding an expert who can solve a very specific problem in my life. And one specific problem that comes up every year is filing taxes. But luckily, finding someone who can solve that problem is easy with TurboTax. They have dedicated tax experts who are there to help you every step of the way. With TurboTax Expert Full Service, you can match with an expert who will handle your taxes from start to finish, no matter how complex. You can even hand off all your tax stuff within the TurboTax app. And then you can see updates on your expert's progress while you go about your day. You can check exactly where your tax return stands right there on your phone. And then if someone ever says to you, man, I wish there were an expert who could do my taxes for me, you can say, oh, I know someone. Visit TurboTax.com to match with your expert today. It's only available with TurboTax Full Service Experts. The real-time updates are only in the iOS mobile app.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's time for the podcaster who doesn't know if it's bread week or dairy week, but I'm pretty sure I'll be wrong, whatever I guess. Because I say, no, it's biscuit week, dude. Oh, boy. Is it biscuit week? Which kind of biscuits? Because then I got to back up again. A man that doesn't know his biscuit from his cookie, from his, wouldn't know the difference between a scone, a biscuit, and a cookie, or he would, but then he wouldn't know how to describe them regionally. But then it doesn't know the difference between international and regional. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that's here to keep you company and put you to sleep because you deserve a good night's sleep. A podcast that's here to be your friend in the deep, dark night. A sleep podcast that doesn't necessarily put you to sleep, but that's here while you fall asleep. I'm here to give you a bedtime you could at least feel neutral about, if not look forward to. I'm someone that struggles with sleep too. I know how it feels. And I'm here to help if I can. So I'm so glad you're here. What we got coming up is we got sport. That's how the show comes out. Free Choice Week. And then there's a long, meandering intro that's there to ease you into bedtime as you wind down or chill out or do some other activity or you're in bed getting comfortable. And then we'll talk about Great British Bake Off eventually. But this is the podcast that never get, holy cow, proofing. It's been proofing since 2013. Put that thing in a proving drawer. He's the one that disproves proving drawers. It's time, if you're confused, yep, you're in the right place because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And here's a couple ways we're able to do it for you for free twice a week.
This show is supported by Odoo. When you buy business software from lots of vendors, the costs add up and it gets complicated and confusing. Odoo solves this. It's a single company that sells a suite of enterprise apps that handles everything from accounting to inventory to sales. Odoo is all connected on a single platform in a simple and affordable way. You can save money without missing out on the features you need. Check out Odoo at odoo.com. That's odoo.com. This show is supported by Blue Land. Living a cleaner and more sustainable lifestyle by reducing single-use plastics is a small action that makes a big difference. And Blue Land is on a mission to make it easy for everyone to make those sustainable choices. They believe that hardworking, clean products can be the norm, not the exception, so that you can do better for your family and the planet at the same time. From cleaning sprays and toilet bowl cleaner to dishwasher and laundry detergent tablets, Blue Land's 100% microplastic-free, EPA Safer Choice certified formulas are safe to use around people, pets, and plants. You'll love not having to choose between the safe option and what actually gets your house clean. Blue Land products are independently tested to perform alongside major brands, and the formulas are free from dyes, parabens, and harsh chemicals. Plus, Blue Land is a certified B Corp and certified cruelty-free by Leaping Bunny. Their formulas are EPA Safer Choice certified, and many have received the Gold Material Health Certificate from cradle to cradle. And right now, Blue Land has a special offer for listeners. Get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/PRX. You won't want to miss this. blueland.com/PRX for 15% off. That's blueland.com/PRX to get 15% off.
All right, everybody, it's Bread Week here, episode 4, and it starts with some puns I'm going to do live here because I couldn't write them all down. Noel's writing puns, putting together a playlist to check this out. Prue sits out, 2 cups of tea or coffee. I really like for Noel, his shirt. That's like my colors that I like, I don't know, and it's kind of like some sort of wavelength style print. But the color is just popping. But for him, it's like a somewhat understated shirt. Like he could go into a bank with that shirt. And he'd say, yeah, I'm dressed to go into a bank. Bon Jovi, Bun Direction. So 2 for 2. Lethal Drizzle, Flanderan. Whole playlist of baking puns. Yeah, amazing. Susie Shoe, 9 Inch Nails. Really funny stuff. Susie Shoe, 9 Inch Nails, Krusty Springfield. Promise we wouldn't do it. Ganashes to Ashes. Joanna Ross. He's got more. Fiddler on the Proof, Whisk and Shout, Total Eclipse of the Tart, Ringo Starr Annis, Bundy MC. So real fun to open. Then we do the sequence, make the episode sequence. And, a lot of reasons to sweat and a lot of focus. It's sort of dairy week, but it's dairy in different forms, obviously. They're not making dairy. They're using dairy. Henry gets the best joke. Then it opens. And what do we got? This is the first ever dairy week. You're going to be pushed to your limits. We also get ducks, baby ducks, talking heads. Alice is happy to be back. Helena's confident to be back. I'm going to call Paul Pablo. Week 4. Bread week went well for Michael. Dairy's different, could ruin it. Phil's apprehensive. He doesn't do a lot of dairy work. And Henry didn't realize that dairy could come from a goat, sheep, buffalo, or a horse, he says. And I said, Henry, I'm not sure. And Steph has had so much dairy this week that she might go vegan. So morning bakers celebrating all things dairy. They're going to do a dairy cake with a cultured milk product, which could be yogurt, buttermilk, or something else, I guess. Moist, it should make a moist sponge. Sounds delish. Actually, I said, maybe I should get into that. Get ready, get set, bake. We start off with Michelle, who's David. Like Dairy World's, there's this thing, I forgot. This is a bit of irony early. Noel says, the dairy world is a hotbed. I don't know if this is or not. Dairy World's a hotbed of innovation. Now artisan bakers are bucking the plant-based trend and harnessing the very best it has to offer. So Alice is using yogurt. She's very cheery. Microbial benefits, the darling of cake making now. And Paul talks about celebrating dairy, trying to use a culture. You can moisten it, Bruce says, but it's common in Northern Europe. So where they study Scooter's brain, the same place. I said, I'll have to ask you next time I'm there. Have you checked my brain for that it's not a culture? They say you have a culture. Oh, they did say that. They said you have a cultured brain. But I said, yeah, right. I do go to plays and music. You're right. I do have and they said, no, never mind. He won't understand. That's the other thing. No offense to all the, whatever brain scientists in Northern Europe. But when you talk about me, like when I'm in the room, I get it. I totally do. So I guess I can't criticize, but I do notice, but I guess that's the thing. I don't know, but in Northern Europe, you just do it. First of all, you usually have, you're very well dressed. Maybe it's the cultured dairy cakes up there. He says, well, he won't, because I said, of course my brain's cultured. I mean, I said, whoa, let's not go so far. I mean, I really was like, give me some more compliments. But they were referring, I believe now. So that's interesting. But that has nothing to do with the episode. But don't overbake it. That's the main message. No, you don't want it claggy. We start off with Steph, who now is in my top. I was rooting for Amelia. And then we had Chris Posterson lookalike earlier. And I don't know, Steph's always smiling, works 3 different jobs. So I don't have, there's other people I'm rooting for, but, I shouldn't have brought it up. But so Steph goes, because Steph is like very humorous, but in a Scooter-esque way, under her breath and whatever, dropping jokes like fumbling a football, but on purpose. So her cake is called the Answer to Everything cake. It's a chocolate, buttermilk, moist and light. But she says, feeling good? It's a good cake. Feeling bad? Chocolate and raspberry. If you're happy, good. If you're sad, it's good. Prue cracks up. Buttermilk, raspberry, some sort of leaves on there. I don't know. Crushed pistachios. And yeah, why buttermilk? Well, be spongy. Paul says, well, what's in there? And she says, oh, this is one of her jokes. Says, do you understand what cultured dairy is? And she goes, lactic acid, maybe? You know what my mom said? Do you know why it's lactic acid? And she says, not again, Mom. The jokes aren't funny when you put them on a sleep podcast and mispronounce them. Oh, and then, yeah, Rosie's kind of like, Paul's listening to Rosie try to explain it. She ends up being correct, but I already missed what she said. Fermenting something or other. So limoncello, she's making a limoncello vodka, a good dose of limoncello is her cake. Also, David's working with limoncello. And him and Sandy start drinking out of a saucer. So they're drinking limoncello out of a saucer, which is very entertaining. For me, I couldn't stop at one saucer. David's is a lemon and poppy seed limoncello glaze. I love lemon cake. Holy moly. And David says, yeah, it's good for the microbiome. So yogurt is yogurts. They say yogurts with something like that in there, which is much more. I don't know. That's just the way they do it. Phil's doing a trucking lovely rose cake, rose water syrup, buttercream roses. And they're talking about driving his lorry. He does 44-ton fuel tanker. And then him and Noel talk about the horns, king of the road, pigeons, Priya's making a banana chocolate cake. I never thought about putting chocolate into a banana bread, but I love that idea. and glammed up banana loaf, toffee sauce. I said, hello. Did you just say toffee sauce, Priya? And Paul, who criticizes the way her dough looks split, she goes, well, that's the way it is. And then Noel says, he's a banana boy. He loves bananas. I guess he's like a minion then, because they love bananas. If you ever need a kid like that's right now, not a little kid, but a kid that's like whatever, preschool, you could just, right now that still works. If you need to connect with them, you just say banana. Anytime, you know, you need some context, like something yellow or whatever, but just a pro tip, you know, Michael's doing a cheesecake surprise, like a raspberry cheesecake swirl in the middle of the cake. But he's feeling stressful. He's made it 10 times, I think he says. 9 of them did not go well. I think only one worked out. And then we got, I'm not cheering to go because the time's up, halfway through. Oh, Paul, and then Noel pretends he's on the phone. He says, 9 of you are going home this week because you didn't cheer loud enough. Then we got to going into the oven sequence, crossing the fingers sequence, talking, what, you know, if it's overbaked or underbaked, double dairy gamble. Somebody's doing a double dairy gamble, not a double dare. I wonder if they ever had Dairy Week on Double Dare. Helena's making buttercream flowers. It's Dairy Week on Double Dare. She's making a Casper cake, almond and buttermilk, which, of course, cute, very cute Casper. Sorry, I meant to say that. But she also has a beautiful pin, cool shoes. Helena's cool. I mean, I'm more rooting for her. Oh, and she said, by the way, I'm leaving my husband and marrying you, Noel. We'll marry on Halloween. And he talks about, oh, well, I'll tell my partner that as well. Alice is working on leaves decorated in white chocolate, getting ready to top her cake. Leafy yogurt cake with cardamom and pistachio, lemon. She took it to school and fed it to the kids and said, try this, and they didn't like it. She said, I realize it's different than what we had before. Pistachio and cardamom. Sounds interesting to me, though. Then, who's this? Michelle's making, what are those called again? Forgot what they're called. Meringues. Yeah, those are meringues. Apple crisps, rhubarb, pecan crumble, homely rhubarb cake. And she used to stir, like make custard with her mom and just stir. She's harnessing home comforts. Other people are looking further afield, including a streusel cake, breakfast German cake Henry's working on, ode to a German breakfast cake, spiced apple and streusels. These are my kind of cakes. Noel gets Henry some water and says, see, I can help. I'm good at that. 45 minutes left. Dairy dallying. No dairy dallying, Sandy says. And then Noel laughs. They make each other crack up this season a lot. Michael's testing his timer, wondering when he should take his cake out. The extra rise means like the cake tins are full to the brim, but they're all worried about the release because the more detailed the tin, the harder to unmold. And so people start, because if your cake gets stuck, then it doesn't look good. Michelle breaks her tray, but she doesn't break her cake. And this ended up seeming like a bigger deal for her cake, it needed to be protected by the team. And Phil and Michael help her, but then Noel sneaks into the background and backs out. So really good, a lot of good comedy. I guess you can kind of see where they hide out with production, though. I just noticed that for the first time. And they said, no, get in there. Like maybe that's where they're watching all the feeds from the cameras. I don't know. Like pre-editing. That'd be nice to have because I don't know how many cameras they have. At least, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, or a lot of it is handheld, but they're all handheld. I don't know anything about it. So Now poor Michael's cake does not come out of his tin. It is cracked, and even Steph's biting her finger looking at it because he says, this is my worst nightmare. It's really unrescuable. He says it. I don't even need to. So that's not good. We get a shot, 15 minutes left, a shot of the outside. Everybody's doing different things. Priya and Henry are trying to help Michael. David's glazing his cake. Rosie's icing it. Steph's decorating hers. Priya's helping Michael try to reassemble his cake. Elena's ghost is getting painted. Groovy Ghoulies, Noel says. That's another one. Oh, they also had like really powerful music for Henry, like not good horn music. Then they switched to action music before the 15 minutes, which already happened. Then we have the final decoration. Everybody's hands are shaking. Time is up. People sigh. Priya was still helping Michael right up until the last second. Michael says, I put it in the bin if I was at home. And she says, well done. He says, please don't be nice to me. And then she goes, I like your shirt. And that makes him laugh. And your triangles and your macaroons, I think Rosie says. Or macaroons. And okay, now you got to deal with Paul and Peru. I would presume they edited this out of sequence, but Henry's up first. Definitely looks great, delicious, nice and light. Love the nuts. Apple, really good. He used yogurt. Yeah, Bruce says delicious. Nice and light. And yeah, that was the test. It blends together. Thank you very much. Henry has on a tie. Rosie's up. What's the alcohol level in there? She says high. Vodka and limoncello. And her cake looks like a nice lemon loaf. Use the culture milk, spot on. Thank you. Sponge, light and airy. Lemon comes through. Beautiful, Rosie. Thank you. They pocket some limoncello in Prue's pocket. Elena's cake, scary and sweet. Lovely. Lovely color. And it's good. For Mad Woman, you're doing well. And Paul says that's the pot calling the kettle. David's cake's up next. Looks very classy. Paul takes a bite. Structure's nice and light. Lemon comes through. Poppy's one of my favorite things. Bruce dancing. She says, I love it. And we go to Steph. Hers is so much chocolate, they say. And she goes, that's the answer to everything. And she goes, buttermilk's in there. They're taking a bite. Lovely, light, moist sponge, so rich. A little bit will go a long way. Thank you, Steph. Then fills up after that. A little bit messy. He says, okay. Texture's pretty good, though. And not getting a lot of rose. Could have dialed it up more, Phil. Come on. And when they go to Alice, wow, it looks really, really pretty. Let's have a look. They start testing it out. A little bland. Where's the lemon drizzle? Where's the cardamom? Pistachio. Texture's good. Light and moist. Thank you. And Priya, she even has gold leaf on her thing. But they don't like the look of it because they say, we'll hold our judgment for the texture. A lot of chocolate. Outside's tough. But banana part is good. Such a lightness to the banana bread. Thank you, Priya. Michelle's up after that. Meringues are beautiful. Let's have a look inside. Loose and open as I expect it to be. Okay. It could be the liquid from the rhubarb. In the middle, it's claggy. What's the Welsh word for claggy? Claggy? They all laugh. Michael's cake is, he says hi. They say hi. And they say, okay, well, tell us what happened. The stick, it's stuck. It lost the definition. Cracked down the middle. Icing looks terrible. Let's have a look. It's too bad because and Henry's even stressed for him, but cake tastes delicious. Prue laughs. It's so good. And the raspberry was in. Tastes great. Looks a mess. And they say, thank you. He breathes. Also, somebody else I'm rooting for. I mean, I really like Michael. And also, I probably at some point I knew who won this season, but I have no idea. So I have no idea who the final 3 or just 6 or whatever is. Then we go outside. We see a squirrel. We're going to have a talking head sequence. Michael says sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just a cake, though. I know it's just a cake, he's telling himself, but I'm going to jump in the river. Phil says that was tough. I barely finished. Henry's happy. That was the best I did. That's not saying much, but good. We get a couple more outside shots, and then Dairy Week's not getting any easier. Oh, no. Baker's got no idea what's coming. Prue set it up. All the elements are equally important, so don't mess up on any of them, she says. Right. They're going out to a car boot sale. Paul's boots, whose car, you know. They're going to go back to Tudor times. Henry VIII liked this recipe, said to keep it under lock and key. 12 maids of honor. Flaky, rough puff pastry, layer of lemon curd, silky smooth, well-risen, cheese curd filling, Tudor rose. And Prue, or Sandy laughs at Noel because he had to read all that. And she says, that's rough, huh? Then there's a bit about baking curd cheese. See, a baking curd cheese does not sound pleasant. Curdled dairy. Then they have to make lemon curd and a rough puff. Henry's never even made one. Which I guess on this show, I think every season you do have to make a rough puff at least once. But it's like the rough puff, then a lemon curd, then the curd cheese, and then they have to stencil Tudor rose and powdered sugar. And Prue wants to see the layers of pastry, and you got to bake it blind, or Paul says you get a soggy bottom. And they're so delicious that Paul and Prue are joking that they could eat the entire tray of the ones they have. So Michael's trying to accept things and try to have fun. And everybody's working on their pastry, which is the recipe's just like basically like, whatever, water, butter, and whatever. Water, yeast, flour. So then we get a roll sequence. Michelle gives Noel a hard time about his rolling technique, and hers, they said, geez, we got to hit the gym because it's hard to roll out. Then you add half the frozen butter. So rough puff pastry is like these lovely laminated layers, as David says. You keep folding them until you can get as many layers. Helena's dough is not working. She doesn't know what's wrong with it. She tries adding more flour, and that's got to go in the freezer to keep it cold. Stephanie eats some cling film. Noel drops it on the floor. Anybody had a maid of honor? They all ask. But no one's even eaten one, not even Sandy, I don't think. And now they got to make the curd cheese, milk, and vinegar to separate the curds from the milk solids. And curdled cheese, that's how you do it. Then you put it through the mixture, leave it to drain. No one's happy about it. Then they got to make lemon curd. And it's just make lemon curd. And Michelle asks Phil how to do it. It's just sugar, eggs, and Davis says it's really not that complicated. I mean, to Noel. Everybody's trying to thicken their curd, and some people thicken it. Priya keeps working on hers. Hers isn't thickening as the way she'd want. It's still on the heat. So she goes on and on, it's just costing her time. Get a couple more outside shots, 1 hour left. People are like, you got to be kidding me. Some people are making their pastry. Priya's still working on her curd. Helena's pastry's still something wrong with it. Got to cut it in 12 rounds. People are trying to figure out the correct size. We don't want to make them too big, no, too small. And trying to stay calm. They're a bit wee, Michael says. He has a lot of excess pastry. And Helena's like, why is my dough so hard? Oh, I forgot to put in water. Well, it's too late now. So nothing she can do about it. She's not happy. And then you have to blind bake it, pre-bake the base. Like 15 minutes. So a lot of going into the oven sequence, but Priya's waiting for a curd to set. And it was like, oh, maybe I should have had to double, like, or whatever. What is that? Multitask. And then Noel does like this absurdist thing with Rosie says your thing's only ringing in your head. I like that kind of stuff. And Priya's trying to get hers done, but her stuff is sticking now. So definitely a frustration. I guess I'm rooting for everybody because I say, well, man, I feel for Priya. Okay, so then the curd assembly is going on because the blind bakes are coming out. So people are starting to put theirs together. And some of them are not very high. Like they're in kind of cupcake tins, so they're not quite filled. 10 minutes left. Got to put it in. Could be worse. Priya says that mine aren't even in. I'm still working on mine. Then you got to do a Tudor rose stencil. What is a Tudor rose? That's what people say. I think we see Steph's area of like drawing skill. 5 minutes left. Everybody's trying to get it done out of the oven, trying to get it on something. Priya's just getting hers in the oven. And everybody's running around. Helena's are falling apart. People are stenciling. People are helping. And, it's not going well for everybody. And the time is up. And not everybody Priya does not get hers plated fully. And then we get an outside shot at some tulips. We get everybody, and then Paul and Prue and their maids of honor. A bit wee. Did I say that already? I like that term. So they say, okay, where are we going to start? Right. By and large, they're almost too shallow. Paul walks off and comes back and laughs. Paul says they're awful. They're really bad. So they start with David. So they're neat. Form of something in the middle. Too shallow. And they take a bite. Baked through, though. All right, moving on. Michelle. Thin pastry, which is good, but no height. And nice flavor. Curd's pretty good. Flat as pancakes. That's Alice's, I think. Curd tartlet. Then Priya's, they just skip over. Then Rosie's, quite a nice curd, but no height. Needs more effort. Then they say this one's a disaster. Helena's a short crust, not puff pastry. New invention. Then they go to Phil's, no rose on top, too dry, not enough filling. Steph's, this looks good. There's kind of a pattern, and it is flaky. And then Henry's baked all the way through, shallow, good layers. It tastes good. And then Michael's, they shrunk, bit overdone, been boiled even. Okay, so then they go through the rankings. Priya, Helena, Alice, Michelle, or Michael, Phil, Michelle, Rosie, Henry, David, and Steph. Best of this lot, they say. And people are raising their hands as they come in. And, the only drama is between first and second. David's for second. At least there's an attempt for Tudor Rose. And Steph, wish they could say they were the best maid of honors I've eaten, but they're the best of this lot. Well done. So Steph's like, I'm glad I got out of that. That's a plus. Phil says, I got to do better tomorrow. Elena's like, what was I thinking? Priya's disappointed. But, that's what happened. Michael's just like, this is not going well. I better enjoy the showstopper just in case I have to leave. I don't want to leave feeling like this. So that's nice. And he has some tears. Then we see a fully grown duck with like a sparkling head. The bakers walk into the tent. Okay, so the bakers are walking into the tent. A lot of them have coats on. Not everyone, though. So it gives an idea of I think there is the weather is extreme because it's chilly in the morning. I wouldn't say it looks freezing, but I think later somebody's like, so hot in here. So, I don't know, just an observation. Really nice gardens, too. So, this is their last chance. They're okay, best technical ever, they joke about. Nice cup of tea. Steph's in first. David's on top. Henry's doing good. This is table talk. Muddy Waters down at the bottom. Michael, Priya. He's using car metaphors. And it could be two people to go home. So I don't know if Paul and Prue get to decide that, or Paul, or what. Like, is it a week where two people do really bad? Because that would help me. I mean, I guess it's just a cliffhanger thing. Stunning display of milk-based Indian sweets known as mishti. And your display should contain 12 portions of mishti. They say mishti a lot. And it's just got to be a stunning centerpiece for like a party. And Sandy even says, I'm getting mishti-eyed. So ready, set, bake. So everybody starts going. This is not in Phil's comfort zone. He says Michael's like already stressed. Bria says if I don't do well on this, I'm not going to be happy because, I'm going to cry if I have to go out. So these are birthday, weddings, vibrant. It should be vibrant, sense of celebration, wonderful opportunity. Use your imagination. Prue's got her beautiful yellow coat on. Colorful, celebratory, real showstopper. Prue and Paul have asked the bakers to use koya, which is a form of condensed milk. It dates back thousands of years. You simmer the milk down to get to milk solids. So it does require elbow grease. Noel even says, I could do it. You can't let it burn. A lot of times people use powdered milk, Helena says, but they don't boil it down like this. So they start with Alice, Indian-British fusion, afternoon tea. So that's my flavors. I'll have a Koya carrot cake, coffee, and chocolate cheesecake, but never done anything like this before. Like evaporated milk, it could take 2 hours. You can't burn it, though. Ruin everything. Steph, everybody's made, oh no, Henry's like, mine's burnt. Paul's watching him. A bit of burnage. And then, you got to put other flavors in there. Saffron, cardamom. Priya says, these are like one of my favorite things. I loved them as a child. So she's making flavors of my childhood mishti, rose and lychee, saffron, and mango. So it should be good. This is sort of stuff you have if somebody had a baby or a wedding, but there is a learning curve. My dad her dad said, oh yeah, I used to make this all the time. I just stir the pot for 5 hours. That was my job. And I say, thank you. And Bree's not the only one with everything riding on this. Pressure's on for Michael. He's doing something based on the Indian flag. The colors of the Indian flag, green, orange, and white. What are the flavors, though? Mango, pistachio, lemon, and rose. And he has a Bengali grandfather. So if any pressure, goes, I don't like Indian milk sweets, so any of them. And they go, good luck. Sounds wonderful, though. Good ideas. And then Henry, they talk about the battle top between Henry, Steph, and David. Steph is rose and pistachio, pink hue, bit of Steph personality in there. She's got rose and pistachio, mango, date, and walnut. Hopefully that'll help. And then Noel says, pressure, a star baker. And she goes, well, David's setting the pace. Noel says, David's like, look at his fringe game is ridiculous. David's using some Kurwa water, I think. He says he'll add some smells, good or aromatics, cardamom, carrot, flavors of India. He's putting fennel in there. And, I'm a big fennel. I'm a big rye bread fan. So they say good luck. Then we see a pheasant outside, a half an hour into the challenge. Koya's still on the heat. Everybody's still doing it. Paul's walking around. Paul and Proof offered a lifeline, though. Your third sweet can use something else. So you could use a condensed milk base, saving time for third sweet. So everybody's doing that. Henry's making something more time-consuming, though. Pistachio and raspberry kulfi, which is like an ice cream, which will have to cool in the freezer. And hopefully the freezer's cold. Henry's making seaside mishti, orange, pistachio, raspberry ice cream. And he goes, this better set in the freezer, man. Noel says, I cry all the time. I cry at movies. And that's how I ended up here in the tent. And then we see a bird. Noel's holding a bag. He's halfway through. So he says, Sandy, where are you? He's like Santa Claus with Sandy. Okay, so Henry goes in the freezer. He's worried. We've got Phil working shortcut sweets. There's over 100 different types of mishti to choose from. A wide variety of confectionery. There's some deep frying going on, which is a classic, Priya says. Michelle's doing a rice pudding. Her husband's nan used to make a rice pudding. Passion fruit discs with chocolate and raspberry. She made a bread bowl to put them in, or tart case. Helena's doing, based on an old British sweet shop, a nice chocolate coconut bar, a Parma violet, and a lemon sherbet, and biscuit spoons she's making, which are very cute. And Noel says, are you using magic? Henry checks the freezer again, and it's taking long to freeze. Obviously, it's not making him happy. Mishti are traditionally served as bold centerpieces, so should be celebrating with color. Rosie's really making a lot of color. Bright yellows and reds, gold leaf, rose pedestal, martini glasses. So she's making a cocktail, orange, rose. She's deep frying some decorations for the glasses. Phil is going no further. He says, one time I was staring into space at the conservatory, thinking of ideas, and I said, oh, my garden looks a little bit like this. Nice. So he's doing a rockery garden with pebbles, chocolate soil. Norman, his garden gnome. A day out from Norman. Phil's garden of mishti, blueberry, elderflower, pistachio, making some stones, soil. Noel says, you made this soil? And he goes, I'm going to feed Paul some soil. Come on, Phil, smash it. Then we see a bunch of ducklings and a duck, 45 minutes down. Henry's ice cream still has not set. And everybody's koi is finally done. It is very thick now, but it still needs to be shaped, coated, and decorated and turned into beautiful sweet. A lot of balls shaped things. They're trying to get their sizes rolled out correctly. Steph cracks a subtle joke. Then people are running to get bowls. So, this is like the difficulty sequence. Coffee, sugar syrup, coffee and afternoon tea. Henry's frying stuff. Checks he's trying to get everything done right at the same time. Ice cream aren't as hard as I want them to be. Everybody's fumbling. Things are falling apart. Ganesh's favorite sweet Michael's making, and not Haribo. Sandy says, I think it's cute that a demigod, a god, would have sweets, a favorite sweet, that a god would have a favorite sweet is cute. Then we have Henry's ice cream come out. It is not set, so that's disappointing. And there's, obviously a lot of heavy breathing then because it's, goodness. Steph offers to help, but there's nothing to do. Everybody's rushing. Everybody's checking things off, though, as they're putting it together. And they're saying, okay, well, this is good, but that's not good. 1 minute left. And everybody goes into final mode, and people are asking for help. Bria asks Michael for help. Everybody's trying to set their things up or put them together and move things around and really make it look glamorous because it's supposed to be the centerpiece of a party, right? And everybody finishes. Really like that Michael helped Bria out. Everybody helps everybody, but it was like they're both in a tough spot, right? So, all right, they're going to be the star of the show. Norman the gnome, Phil says. We see another duckling. So cute. Holy moly. Some purple flowers. The tent, and we go to Phil. Oh, no, then we see everybody sitting with their stuff. And they start with Steph. Oh, you have to bring yours up. That's right. So Steph brings hers up and puts it down, and it's pretty pink and pretty misty. So they say, okay, I like the pink. Maybe it looks like a hot dog bun, pink hot dog bun. And they say Pink Panther's hot dog, rose and pistachio, scoop up the middle. And enough flavor in the rose. Lovely combination. Try the next one. Is very good as well. Grape blend, mango, and coconut. Clever with the flavors. You've done well. Lovely. Then David's up after Steph. Precise, accurate. Very fancy. And then they say, okay, the Kiwa water melts, releasing all the flavors, aromatic, really good. Carrot's delicious. Flavors are interesting. Excellent. So we see Steph and David, and then they go to Alice. Alice even has a menu. Looks great. It looks like afternoon tea. They dig in. Chocolates, cheesecake's moist and creamy. This one's pleasant as well. Carrot cake with thicker paste. Well done. Well done. Helena's next. Hers is definitely the one that looks most like a centerpiece. Yeah, they say it could even be at a wedding. So they start with their purple one. And then they go, lemon's the best one for me. Citrus flavor strong, lovely. Biscuit's beautiful. So it's so difficult not to eat the whole thing. Then Rosie's after that. Hers is very bright, looks good. Colors match up beautifully. And they go into the first one, very delicious cardamom and saffron, aromatic. Spice blend's good, very clever. You should be proud of yourselves. Then Michelle looks nice color, very different to each other. But the rice pudding is not, they don't like it. One flower pot, I don't like it. She goes, oh, that's my favorite. I love rice pudding. And he goes, that's not rice pudding. She says, okay, Paul. We got a Henry Seaside Mishti. One isn't melted. Didn't finish. And there's a nice vanilla flavor to it, but the texture's wrong because it's melted. And so, yeah, if you were, you'd eat it if you were given it. And yeah, and Henry says, yeah, if I didn't have a choice, if I had nothing else to eat. So they laugh at that. And then Michael's up, Michael's flag of Indian Mishti. They love the shapes, the style. And I say, okay, Paul takes a bite, delicious, apricot, coconut, not too sweet. Like the almond ones, they really fit, very well. Thank you. They got, then Priya's up. Okay, these are actual edible things, deep fried and soaked in rose and lychee syrup. Okay. They take a thing of that. They like, because it's fried, it's quite savory. Shall we try one of these? Who takes another bite? It's really hard to get saffron right, but this is absolutely right. This one is nice, good mango flavor, very creamy. Could have been more color in it, though. Flavors are good. Heard good things. Well done. Phil's corner of my garden Mishti. They're laughing at the gnome. And it's very colorful, but the rest of them are classy, and they wouldn't put a garden gnome. Kind of a backhanded compliment. Then they start eating it. Prue even shakes her head. She goes, I don't like it. It tastes fake. Too much with the flavor extracts. And they all are kind of the same. So thank you, Phil. So everybody takes a breath. And then Mike says, yesterday did not go well. So but it was a personal victory today, I think. Priya says, hopefully I've done enough. They liked the flavors. And I'm proud I recreated something I really like. She's tearing up. But definitely a massive relief for her. And then Michael says, I knew, Priya and I were at the bottom, so I feel a little bit guilty, for being here. But, I'm also very thrilled for Steph, genuinely thrilled. He says, because, wow, so pleased. Bruce says she's a serious baker, Steph. Steph calls her mom. She says, I got star baker. Her mom says, I'm in a car park. Oh, my gosh. And Steph says, don't swear. She goes, bloody heck. We're sitting here in the car park. And Steph says, you're not meant to swear on TV. Oh, sorry. I just can't believe it. And then she says, you got to start believing in yourself, Steph. And Steph's laughing the whole time. So very nice end to the episode. And another great episode of the Great British Baking Off. So really sleepy stuff. Good night, everybody. I want to just thank some people that recently stopped being patrons. I think I did this one other time recently, but really people, like only a small percentage of people support the podcast. So even people that support it for a little while, your help is really appreciated. And yeah, I just wanted to do this. I wanted to thank Tony, Kimberly, and Jeff with a G. Thanks, and good night. Wanted to thank Lily, Ezra, and Tim. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Wanted to thank Viv and Kathy. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Wanted to thank Renee, Wyatt, and Wydell. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Wanted to thank Tyler, Thomas, and Stephanie. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Wanted to thank Sharon, S.E., and Raina. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Wanted to thank Reese, Rachel, and Paige. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Wanted to thank Noel, Mac, and Kay. Thank you, thanks, and good night. Want to thank Justine, Jennifer, and James. Thanks, and good night. want to thank Kat, Braden, and Bernie. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Thanks, everybody. The Sleeping exists a free podcast because of people that support the show directly via Patreon or Apple Podcasts or our sponsors. We don't have any outside funding or anything like other than those, so that's really how we bring the show to you for free twice a week. And what else? Oh, we grow as a podcast by people spreading the word, which has been huge lately. If you spread the word about the show, please send me a message through sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors, and I can send you a thank you video. So do that. Thank you so much. And, yeah, what do you say? Here's a couple of Tuck You In sponsors are me, Scoots, past Scoots, asking for support. That's how we've been able to grow all those archives. Thanks and good night. All right, everybody. Hey, Scoots here with the Tuck You In message, and you'll hear it on the pre-rolls. Hopefully a fun game show version of this, and then the mid-rolls, a shorter version. But this is kind of like a message, decided to try to change the direction of things. And I've tried to be clear about this, but I want to be as clear as possible and do it in the spirit of sleepy joy and delight. So I'm going to run through, we've been talking about super listeners and supporting the show, but I want to be really specific about who does not need to support the show or even think about it kind of thing. Like, you don't need to support the show if kind of, but real, like this is real, like, in the sense, if you happen to be listening to this right now, and sometimes I realize my stress or my feelings around the sustainability podcast can leak through, right? And impact people inadvertently, and make you feel some kind of way. And I have to I want to right now take a more active, caring hand in that. So if a part of you does speak up, and after I run through all this, and I'll be running through it, and maybe this will be the new direction we take things, when that part of you speaks up, say, no, Scoot says he said he's not talking to me. If that part of you tries to make, because I have that part of me very strong in me, that makes you want to feel a word that sounds like Shane or Pilt or any of that kind of stuff. So this one is a post-roll, Tuck You In post-roll, so I'll run through it slowly. But I do have it in front of me, so I'll also be trying to read. One, if you happen to be listening to this, if you're a new listener, or you, like you're a person who's only listened once in a while, right? You've only been listening less than 6 months. You don't need to support the show or even think about supporting the show. If you're not in a position to support the show, whether it's financial or you just you're not interested in supporting the show, like, you don't need to support the show. Don't worry. Like, it's great news. I don't want to be as clear. And I guess in this post roll, I can't be sleepy, joy, and delightful except like that. It's good news. You do not need to support the show. I mean, we still have to put those messages out there and stuff like that, but it doesn't. If you can't afford to support the show, you're not interested, or you're new, you don't need to, right? And you could say it to yourself if that comes up in those messages, because we still do have to ask, right? But we're not asking you. So you can say, Scoots isn't asking me. Like the good news or the great news is like returning this thing. So you're welcome here. And yeah, I guess I'm not guessing. It's not a great time to apologize, but it's like, me. When I get me trying to, I had to find my way to this, right? Of, hey, I guess I guess I do need to apologize because I had to find my way here. Of like, I don't want to put those feelings on people that you can't support the show. You're not interested in supporting the show. If you're new, don't worry about it. And the thing is, because there are listeners who do care, I care and listeners care. And those are the people that support the show. And I've gotten enough messages. We did something with Sleep With Me Plus where people said, yeah, I support the show, not just for me. and they want the podcast to be there for you. Like this is real, that they care, and that we're holding you, like that the podcast in this quest to make sure Sleep With Me will be around, like for you. So again, like I think the tool in this example is like, hey, Scoots isn't talking to me. And by the way, other listeners have said explicitly they have me. I guess this is more apply like new listener. You're kind of come from a place. Why would I support a podcast that I'm new to, right? So if you just happen to be listening, this is more of like the people like in those other places that it's okay. It's more than okay to be in those places, and that I've actually been in those places too. And now the other side of it is I'm going to run through everything, but yeah, like if you're not in those groups, right, and you say, well, I didn't realize that, like I want to be the one providing comfort, like supporting comfort. I want to be a part of this thing for those people you're talking about and whoever you're talking about coming up. You could join us. So I'd love it. But not if you're not in a position to support the show or a place where you'd want to support the show or you're new. Also, the other group I'll talk about now that I was going to record last is like, if it like the idea of supporting the podcast, or changing how you do things or like taking those steps or whatever takes away from the show, right? You don't need to support the show. Like if it STRESSESs you out thinking about going through the steps to support the show, it just seems like here's the thing. I think I even put this in some of this. If it's like Scoots, that's just too much to ask me right now. I'm not asking you. Like it is like the truth. Like I'm asking someone else. Like it's too much for me right now, Scoots. Like I don't know if I'm in those two groups, but it just feels like too much, or it's not the right time. I see you and I hear you, and and you can say to that party that says Scoots is talking to you, and no, he's not. He said it explicitly. If you say I can't, like in your head, no, it's too much to have. Like that's just too much for me. Can't see myself doing that. It's just outside of believe me, again, I'm not saying this. I'm saying it because I can relate to. I've been in those places, or I continue to be in those places in different aspects of my life, so I can relate. And I'm saying it clearly now, as clear as I can. Like when I'm asking for support of the show, I'm not asking you to support the show. It's okay. We have you. This isn't a bit or like a reverse thing. It's the truth. Like, you okay? So I just want to rest with that one. Now, the next two groups are probably not listening right now, but just in case you are, and it's funny, I'm trying to figure out how to word it, like in the mid-roll and the pre-roll. But if you're a regular or average, I realize no one's average that listens to the show, but the way most people listen to the show is what I'm using as an average. And here's the thing. If you're like most listeners, you listen to the show while you're going through a tough time, right? Whether it's different phases or seasons of your life, and maybe you listen for a couple months at a time. And maybe during those months, you listen to 2 episodes a week. Maybe you listen to more episodes a week. But you use Sleep With Me like a tool when you need it every couple of years. Because what I've seen happen is like people getting through high school, then getting into or through those tough times in college, then their first job and getting used to that. Then their next phases of their life and then their first baby or other phases of life that come on us unexpectedly that we're not quite ready for. And we need some ease and comfort in the deep, dark night. And you just come and go when you need the show. You're actually covered by the sponsors and the listener support because you listen, you start the show, you wind down during the intro. and then you fall asleep during the story, and the episode stops playing at the end of the episode, or you're in one of those small groups that uses a sleep timer. That's a one group that, right, and most of you don't mind the ads at all. And because the ads, that's the main, like that kind of listening is what the sponsors cover, right? And maybe you check out the sponsors, maybe you don't. Or maybe you're like, yeah, I'm totally fine with the ads. Or you say, well, I realize that, or whatever, a lot of work goes into the show. The ads are necessary. A lot of people love the ads, but some people might be like, well, yeah, it's necessary. I get it. Especially for that kind of listening. You don't need to support the show if you're just listening during these phases of life for a few months at a time. Again, we have you covered. Now, if those changes in your life are big enough that you want to support the show during that time, that's fine. Or you want to you can support the show with one-time support on Sleep With Me Plus if you scroll down. But you don't need to, and you don't need to feel like, don't get caught up in I can't, there's no way for me to target the ads to just super listeners, right? Who are in a place to support the show. So I just have to ask on every episode to get through to the people that are in a place. But yeah, if you only listen once in a while when things are tough or when you need the show or it's baffling, you say, okay, I got Sleep With Me. I'll listen to that this week or this month or even these 6 months. We've got you. You do not need to support the show like we have you. So those are some of the people I wanted to get through to. And then again, if you say, I'm not in those groups and you're just curious, but you say, wow, it would sound, if again, this is only for people not in those groups. If you say, I want to be a part of this thing, I want to be a part of getting, I want to send comfort across the deep, dark night to all those groups of people you just mentioned. I mean, there's people dealing with loss, dealing with their first child, their first job, being out on their own for the first time, a big exam, a big life change, people who would love to support the show but just can't, just not possible for them one way or the other. People that love the podcast so much, they get so much out of it, and new listeners who this podcast might change their life. Yeah, I want to be a part of that. I would miss the show if it was gone for me and for those people. Because I'm not in any of those groups, really, or I'm not sure. Maybe, if you're sure, then think about supporting the show on Sleep With Me Plus. But if you're not sure, I wouldn't do it. I'm kind of in one of those groups. Sounds like a bit much for me. Don't worry about it. We got you. But if you want to be a part of this thing and you're not in those groups, that's who I'm trying to get through to. And it is yeah, I wish there was maybe one day, years from now, I don't think there'll be the technology to do that just because the Sleep With Me is so unique. But I want to try to be as clear as I can and as caring as I can, because my joy is to keep this podcast going for everybody and to bring sleepy joy and delight. And sometimes I've felt like in the past, I'm like, how are these things feel like they're in opposition? How can I bring them into unity? And so this is an experiment, which I hope works, and I hope helps us bring things back into unity. So thanks. This is good news. It's good news. We've got you. And you can say to that voice, Scoots isn't talking to me. He's talking to another listener, not to me. So I'm going to listen to the show. This show's for me. This is it's not so much as a gift as the collective goodwill of all of us kind of, I don't know. So thanks.